This one is a reaction to the recent death of a Form 1 student who had hardly spent 10 days in the new school and he died. I understand what the parents were going through. No parent should go through what they have gone. But as usual, you'll find that parents are blaming the teachers. I've seen about 5 such cases, and in all the 5 cases, it has ended up parents apologizing to the principals of those schools. Yes, to be a principal, you have to have a hard heart. You'll find parents reacting the way they react, but the answer will come with the post-mortem. I remember the 5 cases where when the post-mortem comes, you find a parent saying, my kid has always, since the child was born, has always been healthy and whatever. And then you find out that in the post-mortem they say that this child, from the examination, is that he or she has been under treatment for this and that and that is what has caused him or her to die. And the parents are even asked, has your child been suffering this and that for quite some time? You find that they accept and apologize to the principal or the school administration. So in this case, like any other, let us not talk left or right. Let us wait for the post-mortem and then we can talk. A cousin of the deceased talked of concussion on the forehead. Kindly note that several deaths happen this way. Supposing, when kizunguzungu gets you, you have time to go and sit down and then lie or something like that. But there are times when it comes so sudden that you just fall down or faint. And the way you fall may determine, maybe the person has a normal illness and he fell and fell badly. And so the concussion may have caused the death. Let us find out, because if a person is beaten by a mob justice, because that is what monolization is, usually that in a mob justice, the harm or the fracture does not happen in one place. So if it is only the forehead, or if he fell on one side, the forearm or something like that, the postmortem will say, and even the pathologist will say that the concussion came in a normal circumstance, like say a beating or even a falling down. I would also ask students who like burning dormitories whenever they are not happy with the school administration. In many schools, a student becomes sick and nobody cares about that student, and the student is just left in the dormitory alone, such that during break time or lunchtime or such time is when even his or her bedmate will remember, hey, my bedmate is sick and whatever. There is no such arrangements. So next time you want to burn a dormitory, know that it is possible that one of your colleagues may be sick and in one of the beds. And you see, if we have had cases where healthy students have been banned inside dormitories, what of those bedridden students? I now remember two occasions which are similar. The first one, the second one, I'll start with that. My two sons were quarreling, and I was the only person nearby. So the younger boy was telling me that when he was sick and his elder brother came and brought him food in the dormitory, he said that my brother told me to eat, and he did not even pembeleza me for the second time. When I said I've no appetite, he grabbed the food and ate it. The elder brother was embarrassed and annoyed, and he told him, when we go back to school, next time when you are sick, you yourself go to the dormitory, go to the dining hall, get yourself your meal and eat it. Next time you are sick, I'll not go to the dining hall to bring food for you. First thing that came to my mind was me and my younger brother Pius. That is now the first incident which was happening like that. Whenever we could close school and went home, our stepmother would think that we were not on good terms. My brother would always insist that things be bought different. For example, if we are to get 4 kilos of sugar, there would be 2 kilo each. We had a water jug which was made in the shape of a pineapple. Instead of us having one, which we used to collect hot water to make beverages after preps at night, he insisted that everybody has his own independent things. So my stepmother bought us both each a water jug. But when we went to school, we used one water jug, and those students who did not have a water jug would borrow the other one. So up to now, 44 years later, I've never understood why he usually behaved that way. If you saw him during the holidays, you would think that we were not even sharing the same dormitory, but our beds were next to each other. So when my two sons were arguing, that thing came up. As an intelligence officer, I waited because the younger son had expressed everything. But the elder son was annoyed, was embarrassed. You see, being told that you had eaten food meant for the patient, and he seemed to be annoyed that he had been disclosed, and also he seemed as if to take the brother did not appreciate his having gone to that extra mile of bringing food to him in the dormitory. So I cornered him the following day and asked him to explain his side. He told me that when his follower was sick, in the morning he went and collected breakfast for him. And you know, a sick person does not take breakfast immediately. A sick person needs time to be told, to be cajoled to eat. So by the time he had eaten the breakfast, the elder brother went to the dormitory, to the dining hall, and found the food had been, there was nobody in the dining hall. So he had no breakfast. The same happened during lunch time. So in the evening, remember, the younger one has eaten little, sickly, both breakfast and lunch. The elder one had not tasted any food, and it was supper time. So he told his younger brother to eat. And when the younger brother said, I'll not eat, he immediately jumped on the food. I discussed this with the mother, and their mother told me, please don't tell the teachers. You know, whenever they chase students from school, ours are usually on the forefront. Now, if you start finding problems with them, you'd even arouse attention from the school. So when she told me that, I also sat down and thought for a long time. And then picked up my phone when I was alone, called, they were in different forms. So I called each of their class teachers aside, and the first thing I did was to insist that whatever I was going to tell him, my sons do not know that I know. And I told each of the teachers that I overheard the boys quarreling. So the boys do not even know that I know. So if they reopen school and you confront them, they'll be shocked that I even know, because they were quarreling and I was somewhere and I overheard. They do not know that I know. I said, what is the problem? I told each teacher about that problem. It became apparent that in that particular school, this is a case where two brothers are at the same school. The elder one picked food for the younger one. And you see, if you would not have eaten the food of the other one, we would not have known. So I told each teacher aside. I rang each teacher aside and told him that, do you know that when a student is sick, if he has no brother or friend or anything, he could even die of hunger in the dormitory. Then they told me they have taken note, and when the school reopened, at the end of the other term, the boys came and told me, Dad. I said, yes. A funny thing that happened in school. I said, what? It appears the school, out of whatever, they have discovered that there's that problem. So during parade time, we were told that by the principal that he's going to appoint, and he appointed a sickness prefect. And he even allocated one classroom to be a sick bay, so that before, any student who was sick was being locked in the dormitory, because the dormitories were out of bound for the period when students are undergoing preps at night, or even classes during daytime. So they brought up a new prefect. A new prefect was appointed, who has to go round the dorms and then identify the sick students and take them to a sick bay. And it is the duty of this prefect to know how many are bedridden, and then he organizes with them catres for these patients to be fed. As I want to ask parents, when your kids are in school, try to follow these things up, because I don't know whether there is a parent who has 12 kids, very few, and I also don't know of a teacher who has 12 kids, very few. Most parents have 12 or less kids, and most teachers have 12 or more kids. What I'm saying is, the teachers usually have more kids than parents. Try to monitor how your child is doing at school, and share that with teachers in a non-confrontational way, so that at the end of the time, both you and the teacher benefit. Thank you.